our next subject is going to be on Brandon Tatum. I know that y'all, thank you so much for putting the ones in the chat, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. And hit the like button, please, if you are coming in or leaving out. Please don't forget to leave a like for me. I would greatly appreciate it. And thank you for all of the gifts. Shiz be yapping, the Genius CEO, and also to Lee Turner for my jewels. I appreciate y'all very much. See, I got some gifts. I got some jewels. I'm doing it big today, okay? Thank you so much. Um, yes, thank you. Please hit the like button. Yes, cases. I mean, Brandon Tatum, he is a conundrum. So I watched the history about him, and I didn't know how he came to be who we know him to be today, Officer Tatum. I found out that he played football and then he didn't get drafted, and then he became a police officer, and then he allegedly, I don't know, got fired or quit, and then he became a content creator. I think he might have gotten fired because he went viral for something he said about, I don't know if it was, I can't really remember. I was watching, like trying to watch so much content and digging through like to see like what I aligned with enough to show you guys. Cause I like to show you all videos and suggest videos that I like too, that are somewhat educational or, whatever. But anyway, so I didn't choose to show that video today because I assume a lot of you guys have been on YouTube longer than me and know the story and the backstory of Officer Tatum. But he has lost his mind. Okay. Like, I mean, good Lord. Okay. So we're going to watch a video about Officer Tatum. I do not agree with what the hell he is saying in this video, but I wanted to show this video because I wanted to show this video because although we don't agree with, most of us probably don't agree with what Officer Tatum is doing or does, we can at least agree that that you can have useful idiots. You know what I'm saying? Like, there can be a such thing as having a useful idiot. If it wasn't for what Officer Tatum did the other day, we wouldn't have so much to chew on. And he's given us a lot to chew on since he met with some of those young men that were allegedly with Nolan Wells when he passed away. I did cover Nolan Wells a couple of weeks ago. I decided not to cover him into more content or more facts, rather, not content, because there's plenty of content out there about Nolan, but until more information comes out about him, you know what I'm saying? Factual information, people have been running wild with some of the deep fake stuff that AI has been making. So anyway, I'm going to share this screen. This here is from this guy named Reese Waters. I don't know if you guys watch him. I watch him sometimes. I think, he's pretty funny. For the most part, I like his content. I thought that this was a great video to show you guys because it's funny, and I think he does a great job of telling the story of like what has recently gone on with this man, Officer Tatum, since Nolan Wells' body was found. Okay. This young man passed away or went missing over 4th of July weekend, and then came up missing or found deleted on that Monday. So 4th of July was a Saturday. On Monday, they found his body. And ever since then, it's just been like Officer Tatum has been on a nonstop campaign slandering this young man who died under very suspicious circumstances. So here we go. We're going to let this video play. This video, again, is from Reese Waters. I'm using it so we can talk about Brandon Tatum being a useful idiot with creating all of this content that will hopefully be able to be used in court. But yeah, here we go. What's up, Willing to Win? It's good to see you. Yeah, I don't like I don't like DL Hughley that much either, but if I had to pick a side to be on right now, I'd be on DL Hughley's side. But it's good to see you, Willing to Win. It's good to see you, John. Also, it's good to see you too, Reverend Dr. CJ. Good to see you. Happy Monday. You guys, please don't forget to hit the like button for me. And Mr. Aaron Reese, I will have this video linked in the description so that my followers can go and give your video a like and or subscribe to your channel. All right, here we go, guys.
How he presented himself against Stephen A. Smith, against Nancy Grace. I did peep that. You came dressed for court to go on Nancy Grace. You sure did.
Okay, so wait, let me pause it right here because in the next person that we talk about and discuss, we're going to talk about how different Sambos go around and do content and how they might dress for church when they go sit down with the good YTs. But when they come to your channel, they're usually dressed in some kind of hood get up, like a t-shirt, a ball cap, a gold chain, trying to be very urban, trying to acquiesce to the audience. But yeah, I just put a pin in the fashion part, okay? Because I have a fashion funny after this, okay?
Get out there!
Shout out to all the subscribers and the members here on the channel. Don't forget to like the video and salute to everybody supporting the channel over at thepeoplesgetup.com. Don't forget to send your merch pics to me at admin@reesewaters.com. This is Who Raised Y'all, where we highlight those unique individuals going above and beyond.
I like the name of that show, Who Raised Y'all. It's so funny.
To make society worse.
Black people commit over half of all murders in this country.
Did you read the book?
I did not read the book.
You are uneducated.
I did it for a living.
That's cool.
And
story,
you did not.
bro.
If you're 25 and under, the leading cause of death for you is being murdered by another black person.
Think you foolish.
You know, the kinds of people you'll see asking to speak to the manager at the pearly gates.
I want to talk to the manager.
Now, Officer Tatum, we have been here quite a bit now, haven't we?
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Brand new Officer Tatum action desk. He's got one position.
Israel first. Change my mind.
And he will not budge. Press his cap and watch him nod in agreement all day long.
They are so shady, but the tea is piping hot right now, okay?
Illegal Haitian. Okay, got it. So we want to highlight the one illegal Haitian and air him out.
Like, how many illegal Haitians have you heard about getting deported, y'all? I forgot about that one, but I forgot about that story, but see, I don't follow Tatum, so I didn't even know he covered stuff like this, but this is hilarious.
After, because they haven't suffered enough after the last election cycle, so that was well done. Oh, I see DEI. You definitely can't go 10 videos without mentioning DEI. So he got his DEI quota in there. We discuss your stances on a great number of things where you suspiciously always end up as the milk dud in the whipped cream.
What do you mean by that?
The milk dud in the whipped cream.
What?
That's not what y'all. That's what we've been saying.
Nah.
Well, you know the whole point. You get what I'm saying. Wrong. But here's the thing, Officer Tatum, and this is why you're here on Who Raised Y'all. What is it that I said when the brother was out here bragging about scamming MAGA with the Shiloh Hendricks thing? Huh? What was it that I said?
Hey, I scam MAGA. Hey.
Why do we do this? Why do we go online confessing crimes? What is wrong with us? What is wrong with people? Huh? What is wrong with them? He is lit as hell talking about he done scam MAGA. Is he crazy? What is wrong with him?
Hey, MAGA, give me that bread.
I need to ask, who's teaching the youth? Huh? Who is teaching the youth? What happened to each one teach one?
Oh my God.
And what was it that I told the brother who scammed MAGA, had the whole song about Charlie Kirk and he ran? What was it that I said then?
I scammed MAGA for 30 bands.
I got the money and ran. Sorry, not that part. The part where I addressed the dry snitching. Where you found out? Like, what happened? What happened? Were they threatening to go public? Why would you be making a TikTok telling everybody that you did a scam? What's going on with the youth today? Yep, that's right. That is right. So here's the thing. The first rule of grifting, Officer Tatum, is you don't make it so hot. You don't make your grift so obvious for.
You see why I picked this video? I liked him using the street vernacular with this, right? But yeah, he is totally right. Like, what the hell are you doing blowing up the spot so hot? You got Nancy Grace on your ass. She on national television. He about to get all these content creators grifting off of this poor dead boy. What is wrong with them? Who raised them? This is such a great name of a show. Who Raised Y'all? Shout out to Reese Waters.
All the world to see. And you for damn sure, if you getting involved in criminal justice, don't want to tangle with Nancy Grace. You don't want that kind of smoke.
You're saying the park ranger found him. That leads me to believe there were no friends. There was no newly met girlfriend. So am I left to believe that he goes out swimming all on his own and the friend girl leaves, the mates from school leave, everybody just leaves him out in the water and he dies and then just conveniently washes ashore? Somebody just left him out in the water? Does that make sense to you?
No.
It sure don't, Nancy Grace.
Hell no, it don't make sense. Hell no, it doesn't make sense. Does it make sense to y'all that Nolan Wells just freaking passed away after hanging out on the 4th of July and nobody knows what happened? Nothing. No boating accident was called in. Nothing. Or there was a boating accident called in, but no one had to explain why the village pump wasn't working allegedly. I don't know. I don't know. But
it sure don't, Nancy Grace, and I'm glad you asked that question. Apparently that made sense to Officer Tatum, so much so that he decided he wanted this smoke, Nancy Grace.
Nolan Wells bombshell tonight. The dead teen's messages deleted after his body washes ashore. Caitlin, now allegations have reared their ugly head that his phone has been tampered with and items have been deleted. Explain.
They had his phone. And when his mother was looking for his phone when he was missing, there were two different ways to identify it, either a Snapchat location or a Life 360 location. They showed different locations, which is very possible because one updates automatically, the other only updates when you open the app. But when she finally tracked it down, she says there was nothing on it from that day.
Must be one of those coincidences, huh, Officer Tatum? Huh? Oh, no, you're going to get your opportunity. You know, you're going to get that smoke. Don't worry. I'm just getting her warmed up.
Bombshell tonight in the...
First of all, shout out to Nancy Grace, okay? We went to the same college, okay? Mercer University is our alma mater, okay? Alma mater, yeah. Not armada. But no, shout out to her. But don't you love it every time she says bombshell tonight? Like, that's how I'm going to start opening up Smell the Roses Rose Report. Bombshell tonight. Aaliyah got snapped on this weekend by Fatty. She got called out for being a chameleon. CJ was simping. Bombshell tonight. You know, like stuff like that, you know? But y'all don't think that's funny? Okay, here we go.
Tragic death of a young man, Nolan Wells. In the last hours, we learn the contents of a second independent autopsy on Nolan's body.
Preliminary report, second autopsy, death of Nolan Xavier Wells. Cause of death, undetermined, pending investigation. The manner of death, undetermined, pending investigation.
Well, Kennard, I don't necessarily agree with that. That's pretty harsh too and hardcore of you to say, but let's talk about this. Personally, Kennard says, personally, I think this whole thing was a play so his mammy could get paid. The fact that she hired Uncle Ben Crump speaks volumes. So I don't think that way at all. I think that what is she supposed to do? Who do you think, who else do you suggest that she call to go against a small town judge and football legend family in a state like Mississippi? Who do you think she should have called? Who could have helped her? Is she just supposed to not care, like, what happened to her son? Is she just supposed to accept that he drowned, but nobody can explain how he got there in the water to drown in the first place? That's sad. That makes me sad that you think that his mom is just grifting. I'm pretty sure that she would rather have her son than not have her son at all. Yeah, I understand that. Who shows up to give free help? Who gives free help? Because the taxpayers pay for WIC and government assistance. Like, who gets anything for free? So Ben Crump is supposed to work for free? Do you know how much paperwork goes into a case like this, from counties to subpoenas to, like, you think it's easy to do law attorney like work in a state like Mississippi? A criminal attorney, when they won't give you any information, they won't even give you the autopsy report conducted by the state? Why would you get a criminal attorney right now when there are no suspects? Who are they charging a crime to? The police don't have any suspects. Do you see why they had to get Ben Crump? Because there are no suspects. This young man that was going to go play football on Monday wound up dead in a fucking beach party on the 4th of July, and nobody knows how he got there. I don't understand. You need Ben Crump to bring on criminal charges so that you can charge somebody. But if the state and the county and nobody will budge to do anything for your son, Who would you call to help you? I'm just interested in knowing, who do you think she should have called for help? You know, we don't have Martin Luther King. We don't have years and years and years of oppression or oppressing people that look different from us. Like, don't you understand what it's like growing up in the South? Do you know what it's like growing up in the South? Do you know when people say things like, what's understood doesn't need to be explained? That's why she called Ben Crump. I mean, didn't the police officer in Mississippi just shoot a 1-year-old baby? Didn't that just happen before Nolan Wells? But now all of a sudden we're not supposed to think this is not weird that a healthy young man that was set to play football on Monday passes away on 4th of July weekend, and out of all of those people that we see on the water, nobody knows what happened to him after 3:30, 4 o'clock? Nobody knows anything? Y'all tripping. Like, that's weird. You know, like, I get wanting to be like, I'm not prejudiced and I don't think, I don't see color. I get that. I'm a mixed person. My mother is white and my father is black. Nobody gets that more than me. But like, the circumstances are highly suspicious and nobody can say that. Like, nobody can say that. If you say that, you're a race baiter. If you say that, you're like anti whatever. Like, nah, that shit is weird. It's weird. And yes, agree to disagree, but I still don't see any names in the chat of who you would call for help with getting justice for your son. Who would we call? We don't have who got OJ Simpson off. What was his name? I mean, maybe the lead attorney can go and help, but lead attorney specialized in divorce, right? Somebody call the lead attorney. Maybe I should call the lead attorney and he can help me when this case gets started. We can talk about this case and what happens in states like Mississippi. I don't know. It's a good idea though, right? I'll think about it. Anyway, Nancy Grace looks hella mean right now. Let's get back to Nancy Grace, okay?
Making the water even more murky. And the COD, cause of death, and MOD, manner of death. That's from our friends at NAACP. What happened to Nolan Wells?
And you know what, Nancy Grace? I very much appreciate you applying pressure the way that you are. The way that he and his family deserves. And what is that they say about pressure? It busts pipes. I guess it busts grifts too.
Have the friends taken polygraphs?
Well, from my understanding, all but I believe one took a polygraph, and from what was told to me, that they all passed. And all of the ones that took a polygraph took one without a lawyer. And they cooperated with law enforcement. So from my understanding, everybody took a polygraph test. Why do you say that's
from what you understand? Did they tell you they took a poly and passed?
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you. From what I understand. Huh? From what I understand. What was it that we said in that last video about media literacy? Pay attention. Pay attention. And granted, whatever it was they said to me, I'm just going to repeat from what I understand.
So they yes, ma'am. They told me that they did it. I wasn't there. So that's what I'm saying from my understanding. They told me that all the boys except one, which is Warren, I believe, took a polygraph test. All of them did not have lawyers and did it and cooperated with police. Warren also cooperated with police. I just believe he didn't take a lot to take the test, but Warren is the young man that I interviewed. So
wait a minute. Didn't you just say?
How does that make it better? Yeah, listen to this.
They all took it. They all took it. And now we're excluding Warren. Who's the guy that you talk to?
who was sounding like a hater, talking about the last time I saw Katie, Nolan was cradling her in his arms. Oh, hating ass. Yeah, allegedly. I don't know. I think I snapped, but that's what he has said during the interview. The last time he saw Katie, she was being cradled. Nolan was cradling her in his arms. It's like, is that what got Nolan hemmed up that day? Allegedly, I don't know, but could be. Could it be?
So how did the others get this understanding that you have that they took a lie detector test? And how often are we going to start excluding somebody? Because it ain't been but 10, 15 seconds. Huh? In another 2 minutes, are you going to exclude everybody?
According to what they told me, they all took a lie detector test and passed. And it's an equivalent.
Yes, John. I completely agree with you. And I feel the same way. John says there needs to be a thorough investigation to look at the facts and to find out what happened. I'm not going to say things one way or another because I don't know the facts in the case. Investigation is needed. I totally agree. I agree with you. Until we know, that's why I didn't want to talk about it anymore, because I'm waiting on more facts to come out. What is the grand jury going to look at? What is the grand jury going to say? Why are the medical records being sealed? How much different are they from the second medical examination on Nolan's body? Like, there are a lot of questions that people have about this. And but even in not wanting to say what happened, I just do find it suspicious. If I was a mother and nobody could explain why, when, or how, and then people were acting funny with giving me my son's phone back and giving me my son's car keys to his car back, and then I see the GPS report about the boat going all these different places after the story was told to me one way and now it is another, I would be suspicious of everybody. Even if they told me a perfect story that matched from A to Z, I would still be suspicious, because why the hell did y'all come back and he didn't? What was so different about this time out of the million times that you guys have gone out to hang out with each other? Why is it that this time my son didn't come home? I'm sorry, like, as a parent, you just need to know. You want to know. You have the right to know what happens to your kid, especially when it's not natural causes. I think anybody would be right to want to know what happened. So, yeah, the fact that Officer Tatum is just, being so hyperbolic about, this being Nolan's fault is what really grosses me out, because he doesn't know what happened. He wasn't there, just like any of us. So for him to be making all these claims against Nolan when there's no information, there's no proof, for him to just be going along with Nolan's friends when they're all alive and able to lie, cheat, and steal to this day, but Nolan is dead and his last day was the 4th of July. There's something wrong with this. So I don't appreciate this little thing that he's doing.
Equivalent of a lie detector test. It's not a traditional lie detector test.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
I'm sorry, come again.
And it's an equivalent of a lie detector test.
The equivalent of a lie detector? The equivalent of a lie detector test? Nancy Grace, you better get him. You better get him.
But it's the same theology.
Hold up.
Theology.
Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Of trying to get to if a person is lying. I don't know the name of it. It's an equivalent of a lie detector test. It's a different methodology. I don't believe it was a polygraph test. I believe they took other stressors in order to analyze if the people were telling the truth or not.
Did they take a polygraph would be no.
Not only is the answer to did they take a polygraph no, the answer to did they take fill in the blank is no, because you don't even know the name of what they took. And you don't even know what it does, because you sitting there fumbling talking about, I believe it tests other stressors. What, did they have a massage therapist trying to see how much stress was up around the neck? It could have been anything you're talking about. But this is how it goes. From what I understand, we going with a lie detector test that they all pass, from what I understand.
Well, yeah, I think it could be semantics.
I think it could be semantics. See, semantics are kind of two words that roughly mean the same. You don't even know what they took. So how? You don't even know what they took. They could have took a Snickers.
Right.
That ain't semantics with a polygraph test. You have no idea what they took.
I think it could be semantics because they took a test to analyze whether or not they were being truthful in their statements, and that certified test, they passed it.
See, like this is so far into like being a Sambo. Like, why do you have to cape this hard? You're just making up lies to prove your point. You should get in trouble for this. Like, seriously, this young man wasn't like robbed at the casino. Like, he was like, he's deleted. Like, he'll never come back. Like, you do not know what happened to him. You do not know. And you're sitting up here saying that these guys, like, why would anybody do this for somebody that is not their own skin and blood? You know, like, why would anybody do this? Just make up lies randomly when you could be lying for serial killers or serial deleters, excuse me. Because you don't know, we don't know who these people are. Like, who are you? Who are you? And I'm just going to get on my YouTube channel and protest my life to the Lord that you are just a good person and that you are just up on the up and up and you didn't murk your friend during the 4th of July celebration on the boat while everybody was allegedly high and boozing. I mean, how can you trust anybody? I'm a parent. So even when it is not serious, they will lie just because they don't want to hear anybody's mouth about the situation. Like, I have a 15-year-old, so I know, you know what I mean? Like, you know, shit just don't, when stuff doesn't sound right, it just doesn't sound right. It doesn't matter if it's big, small. Like, I don't know why, if you're an adult, if you're a parent, you're looking at the story and you're kind of like, okay, guys, what really happened here? Because this isn't making sense. Where did he go if he didn't get on anybody's boat? Why is he passed away? I would think that if you left my son on an island and he knew he couldn't swim back, he would stay there and wait for somebody to come back to get him. And when you went back to get him, you would probably see him dehydrated and tired and sleepy if you went back the next day, but you would still find him alive. So why is it that he has passed away? We can't say, oh, he might have wanted to swim back to shore. No, everybody already knows. And it ain't no swimming back from that little island back to the mainland. That is understood. Of the culture of that town, everybody knows there ain't no swimming back. Just like everybody knows there's no lights here after the sun goes down, which is why everybody left around the same time, around 7, because allegedly the sun went down like 10 minutes to 8 that day. So it's just like, as a parent, objectively, it sounds weird.
Just wasn't considered a traditional polygraph. I think it's a more advanced way of doing it.
Brandon Tatum.
You heard that? I think it's a more advanced way. I think it's a more advanced way of doing it. The test that you don't know what it is. The test that you don't know what it does. I think it tests other stressors. The tests that I think it tests other stressors. I don't know. That's more advanced. Is that what we're going with? And keep in mind what it means that this is where they went.
to share their message.
In a nutshell, Joe Scott, there is a difference between.
Let's pause it right here. Y'all, if y'all know anything about Nolan Wells, call this tip line that's on the screen. Okay, there's a $125,000 reward for information that leads to figuring out what happened to this young man on the 4th of July. He had everything going for him, like everything. So it's just so sad. I mean, God, my stomach just like hurts at the thought. Like, oh.
A polygraph, which measures all sorts of body signals, your sweat, your breathing, your heart, your blood pressure, all sorts of things, and an audio verification test.
Is this guy serious? Is this guy really serious? Yeah, coming to you live from the Valley. Is this guy serious? Saying that it's a matter of semantics? The truth is not about semantics, my friend. Deception is about semantics. That's somebody saying that it's up to your
That was a bar. Did y'all hear that? Deception is about semantics. Ain't it though? Haven't we been seeing a whole lot of deception on YouTube lately between content creators trying to use their editing ways to play semantics and not take the L's that they rightfully deserve? Okay, hold on.
interpretation. Now, there's only one interpretation of the truth, and that's the truth. That's exactly what it is. It's not open for discussion. It's not open for interpretation. Okay, and then on top of that, for this guy to say that he said theology, does he even know what that word means? You're talking about Ben Crump, and you're using words about theology to say that that BS test and a polygraph are of the same theology.
Brandon Tatum is trying to sound important, and he's comparing legal jargon and the arts of law to theology.
Nah, man, this dude's a clown, for real.
Big clown.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I was waiting for him to bring up paleontology, you know, the way she buried him, and she ain't done.
I couldn't imagine that they want to get underage drinking on camera. So what they had articulated to me that it wasn't abnormal for people not to snap and not to do a lot of pictures and things like that, because they were focused on
But you
being
told me
off of the
they
main
showed
man.
you pictures and videos.
Yeah,
so
but
they
it's
did
not
take
uploaded.
pictures and videos.
No. It's not a lot of pictures, and they weren't uploaded. So when you're talking about Snapchat, you're talking about a platform where people are uploading images and pictures to produce to the world. What they showed me were things that they had recorded on their phone, and it wasn't a lot of different things because most of what they did was drinking and having fun in the water. And so, but what they had articulated to me as well is that it's not abnormal for people not to snap. It's not abnormal for you not to have your phone. And Nolan wasn't the only person that left his phone on the boat. They also mentioned to me, and you can see it in the interview that they did, was that they had no reason to touch Nolan's phone. They weren't thinking about Nolan's phone when they thought the boat was sinking. And when they got to the house, it was no incident when it comes to Nolan getting the phone back to the friend and parent.
She about to snap on his ass. Just listen.
You're going far afield from my question. Let me redirect you back.
Filibustering, saying a whole bunch of nothing, wasting people's time. Look at him smiling like an idiot, like an idiot.
Back to their phones. Nolan has nothing on his phone. They have pictures and videos on their phones. You told me that they exist, whether they posted them or not. So they were taking pictures and videos. Don't you see why the mom, Nolan's mom, is concerned there's nothing on her son's phone?
Well, Nancy, it's unclear exactly what the mother is articulating.
I think you have Nolan's mother confused with yourself. I think you confuse you.
I agree, Reese Waters. I agree, sir.
With the mother. Because we all unclear on what exactly you are trying to articulate.
Exactly.
Other than the fact that free the white boys. Like, that's literally the only thing.
And they're not even locked up yet, and he's already talking about freedom. Like, it's like, what? Why would you do this?
You are trying to articulate. Quite poorly, I might add. And I would say with the effort, if this is where we are already when it comes to their public defense, you know what I mean? Then in one of them's mother, a judge, and they couldn't get a better advocate than Officer Tatum, the guy who will take your side no matter what. This doesn't prove anything. It's indicting by his presence.
Officer Tatum, are you telling me that they had reception on Horn Island? Because many people are saying, well, the reason that there's nothing on Nolan's phone of that day, like there's no pictures, there's no snaps, there's no text, there's no anything, not because it was deleted, but because he didn't have reception. But you're telling me the other boys did have snaps, photos, videos, and reception?
Yeah, no.
Y'all see his face. Y'all see his face.
Okay, sentiment. All right, now you don't want to say stuff like that in the chat because then somebody's going to tell you to put a name on it, and we can't be messy. You gotta be good, okay? Don't get me in trouble. But he is acting like a hyena. He is. I agree with that. That I agree with. But look at his face, y'all.
I know that look. I know that look. I know that look. That's the look. That's the look I had when my mama had to pick me up from school when I got suspended in junior high. I know that look. Get him.
No, Nancy, let me clarify this for you. It wasn't that they uploaded this online. They showed me videos and things that they took from the boat during the outing on 4th of July. I was personally out at Horn Island. I rode out there on a boat, and I didn't have great reception.
My question is, why did they delete their social media accounts? What is Officer Tatum's reasoning for that? If they're not guilty, if nothing happened, if everything was on the up and up, why did they feel the need to have to delete their social media accounts? It's like they were trying to get ahead of something.
There, and I left my phone in the boat when I got into the water, and we were actually going out to do interviews.
Objection. Objection.
Objection.
You've been in court long enough to know you're gonna get objections.
I'm going to start using that. I'm going to start using that when I interrupt people on panels. I'm going to say objection.
You said you didn't have great reception, but you did have reception, did you not?
I know my verdict. I know my verdict. Y'all can keep going with that, but I know my verdict. I know what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Fry them up.
The jury will now go off and deliberate on. Get out there. Get out there.
No, there was reception there. It just wasn't great, and it wasn't great enough for people, in my opinion, to.
Did y'all see Nancy's face? Hold on, let me show y'all. Hold on, here we go. Watch.
Upload. It just wasn't great.
Get out there.
No, there was reception there. It just wasn't great, and it was.
Nancy Grace is like, Ninja, what? So first you said it wasn't no reception. Then you said it wasn't good reception. So which one was it? I mean,
wasn't great enough for people, in my opinion, to upload. You can make a phone call potentially, but you wasn't gonna upload data to a social media account. Now, could people take the steps to do it, if they're dedicated enough, yes. But it doesn't appear that that would have been a frequent thing, given the fact that you probably had 1 or 2 bars out there. And I heard evidence of that. Not only did I see evidence of it when I went out there myself personally with my cell phone, when I listened to the CETO call, you could tell that the call dropped out several times. It seemed like they were having trouble at times hearing each other. So it is consistent. And anybody that travel out there that have gone to the 4th of July celebration, they know that the reception is not very great. So the videos that they showed me in call logs were things that were not associated to social media, that they never posted on social media. It was, pictures and videos that they took on their phone.
Did you just sit there and tell me you could maybe make a phone call, but you're not going to be uploading to a social media account?
Where? Listen, there's been a couple of places where I just did not have cell phone service, okay? One place was when I was at the Barclays Center in New York, and I went to go see Beyonce. I think it was 2015. I went to New York to see Beyonce, and it was the best experience of my life. But when you go to see Beyonce, what do you know as a young lady or an older lady or a young man or an older man who goes to see Beyonce in concert? You can't upload. You're not uploading her concert while she's live. You know you can't. You have to step outside of the Barclays to make a phone call. You have to step outside of the Barclays to send a text message. Once you in there, ain't no text messaging, ain't no uploading, okay? And on a plane, you know, when they disable airplane or when you have to do airplane mode, like those are the only times where I haven't had access to my phone. But on the water, in the air, for the most part, you have access. So what? Like, I don't understand why we're expected to believe that. Children are trying to upload all the time, whether it's to YouTube, whether it's to Instagram. They're trying to upload, they're trying to snap. So even if it doesn't go through, they're still trying to get something uploaded. This is like, we're not in 2001 anymore. This is 2026. It's just ridiculous.
Because I have tried to post on 1 or 2 bar. I don't really be calling too much on one.
Yeah, but you have tried to post on 1 or 2 bars. Exactly.
So you just feel like you could just say anything then, huh? You could just feel like you could just say anything. You know what? I guess for the hourly rate. I guess for the hourly rate. That's how that works. But we all heard this. No, they gonna drag you. Nancy Grace to Tatum. You got that right. How he presented himself against Stephen A. Smith against Nancy Grace.
Okay. So right here, this is the fashion. All right. So hold on. You see him right here sitting down with Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith has been on TV probably for as long or longer probably than Nancy Grace, right? He's on TV. He's on a major network, right? Like, he has major sponsors. I think ESPN, or I can't remember which one he's on now, but he's somebody. Look at the way Brandon Tatum is dressed for Stephen A. Smith. But look at how he was just dressed.
And Pete, that he presented Tatum. But as for the hourly, just say,
okay, hold on. Wait.
I have
tried. We'll go back. We'll skip forward.
They never posted on social media.
It was look at him. He got on the sports coat with the freshly pressed. His wife could have did a better job pressing that t-shirt or pressing that button down for him. But nevertheless, he has on a button down with the top coat for Nancy Grace. But
pictures and videos that they took.
But for Stephen A. Smith, I like this one.
Outrage. Nancy Grace to Tatum. You got that right.
I like that.
How he presented himself against Stephen A. Smith, against Nancy Grace. I did.
So you say that sentiment says, nah, Rose, it's respect levels. Tatum doesn't respect Stephen's platform. He's Black. Wow.
Peep that. I did peep. You came dressed for court to go on Nancy Grace. You sure did. Oh, he sure enough did, Stephen A. He sure enough did. And you know what? There's no better representation of his complete disregard for the Black community on your show, of all people, on your show. And then was trying to invite Benjamin Crump on his platform. Was you going to do that interview shirtless with that level of... That's a daggone shame. Well, as angering and potentially triggering as that might have been for some people, here's what I want to focus on. I want to focus on the fact that this is where they went for their defense, and it's looking this shoddy already, and what the ramifications of that are. But I also want to focus on the fact that this man has gone so far down the road with his grift that it has been stripped completely bare. We can all see him now.
Yeah, I think this was a great example of like grifting gone wrong. Like, you know, like I don't think it'll change anything because I think that the people that support him are that deranged, but
we've been seeing it for a long time. Now everybody sees it.
Yeah.
There's a whole industry in this country that pays top dollar for one product. A Black man willing to tell white audiences that racism is over. And Brandon Tatum, Officer Tatum, employee of the month, every month.
Yeah.
Listen, from a PR perspective, this man is a masterclass in how to lose a community, okay? Number one, trust. He did his years as a Tucson cop, then built an entire career explaining why every single police shooting was justified. Every single one. That's not just an analysis, okay? That is a subscription to Kundum Come, okay? Kundum Come. Number two, contempt. When Black folks questioned his Nolan Wells coverage, where he interviewed the friend and played judge, jury, and press secretary for the suspect while the investigation was still open, he called his own critics ignorant, melanated people. Sir, rule one in PR, do not insult the audience you claim that you are saving, because that's what you said. Number three, identity for rent. He sat on Stephen A. Smith's panel and announced he's not Black first, he's American first. That's cute, good to know. Whoever is paying you is buying Black condemnation. That's not courage, that's simply commerce. And never forget, tokens get spent.
This is Brandon Tatum.
Y'all just see what unfunny ex-comedian did.
I'm using this video in the guise of fair use. We just saw DL Hughley step into the chat. Okay, so y'all know, if you haven't heard, DL Hughley has had some choice words for Officer Tatum for being a Sambo. Though DL Hughley could also be considered questionable, we will hear from DL Hughley on Officer Tatum.
Hughley just said about me, posted a picture of me and my wife. To do what? To be a racist? You are the lamest dude in all of comedy.
Brandon Tatum, you know that's a lie because you be in them right wings, sir. I know you know better. I know you've seen what them right-wing comedy shows be looking like. So don't even try it with that. And this not going nowhere good. See, that's why you need people in your circle. You don't play with DL Hughley. Don't play with DL. Huh? You end up looking like the people in the crowd during Comic View. Huh? You couldn't pay me to sit in the front row for a Comic View taping of D.L. Hughley.
What is more lame than calling yourself the job you used to have? You're not an officer anymore. You were a football player who failed at being a football player. You didn't make the team, so you became an officer. That wasn't working out, so you became an influencer. You talked about emotion. What is more emotional than this?
The word.
You cried for a white dude who the people didn't even think you worthy to speak at his funeral.
Oh,
you said you wouldn't cry for your son, but you cried for him.
Oh no! Oh,
that's not emotion.
Oh,
he got you there. He got you there. Not only did you cry when you found out about it, you cried again during the memorial because you was persona non grata. They had to ask you to quiet down so they could finish the service. That's happened. That's what happened.
You talked of the way Benjamin Crump talks.
Just want to blame white folks. And so I go out there because I know that lame Al Sharpton and Mr. I can't read Benjamin Crump is just race hustling, y'all.
You talked about how.
So that's the thing, right? It's like, how is Ben Crump any different from you, Brandon Tatum, Officer Tatum? If Benjamin Crump is grifting, aren't you grifting too? I mean, you're not a detective. You're not a subject matter expert in deletion or in psychology or psychiatry. You don't know, you can't speak to the mental wellness of these young men or the dynamic between them. Like you don't know any of these things, but you are doing the same thing Benjamin Crump is doing. At least Ben Crump is actually licensed and classically trained in the art of law, when you seemed not very skilled at going to do interviews with something that you've been learning since what they said you went viral, I think in 2017 or 2018, you've been content creating. I don't know, but it just seems like far-fetched that Ben Crump would be a grifter and you would not be. It's like you guys are the same thing. He's hustling the legal and you're hustling the YouTube content creation, So like, to be on such a high horse, like, I agree with you, Gray Stroke 8670 says 2 Sambos arguing over who's the best Sambo. Yes, I have the next video I have queued up to talk about Officer Tatum is actually Dr. Claude Anderson explaining what a Sambo is. I think I might just play that video because the video that I wanted to discuss, I can't find anymore. And I'm wondering if the person took it down because it might have gotten flagged. But we'll still talk about what I was saying, and I'll still show you the funny outfit thing, fashion faux pas thing that I wanted to show y'all later as the funny. But yeah, let me let this play a little bit.
Those boys are innocent. You had proof. Now, I don't know whether they're innocent or not. I don't know what happened there. But I know one conversation with a failed football player and a social media influencer is not the predicate. You don't have any toxicology report. You don't have an autopsy report. You talked about black people acting a fool. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that took 31 years and 3 trials to prosecute and find guilty the murder of Medgar Evers. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that in 2005 found 215 black people that were dead and buried in a pauper's grave and nobody knew they were there.
Yeah.
Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that just killed a 1-year-old boy and nobody's being brought to account about. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that has been poisoning black people with the water since the 1960s. Black people didn't look for this fight. They want justice. All they want is accountability. And if it's those boys, it should be that.
Yeah. And no, listen, if it would have been 6 or 4 or 5 young Black men with Nolan on boats, we would be the same way. Just like when it was Shanquella Robinson and it was her 4 or 5 friends who came back from her trip, her vacation, and she was deleted or had passed on. You know, we wanted to hold them accountable, and they were Black just like Shanquella. This isn't about race. At least for us, it's not about race. For us, we just want to know what happened to this young man. What happened to him? Just like we wanted to know what happened with Shanquella Robinson. What happened to her? You go hang out with your friends in Mexico and you don't come home. You're damn near decapitated. Wow. What happened to you? Nolan Wells, you out there celebrating the 4th of July before you go to football camp on Monday, and you don't come home. You end up washed up on the shore, deleted or passed on, not from natural causes. What happened to you? Either way, if the children would have been purple, if the children would have been green, if the children would have been whatever color, teal, pick your favorite color, we still would want to know why those 4 came back and my son, the 5th child, didn't. What happened to him? That's all we want to know. We want to know what happened to him, and then we want to hold whoever accountable for why he has passed on. We want them to be held accountable. I don't think that there is anything wrong with that. So, yeah, it's not about color. It's about accountability. Those kids were with him, so we're looking at them. Whether they're white or Black, we're looking at them. They were the last people to see him. We're looking at them. What the fuck did they do? What do they know? What are they covering up? As a parent, the story don't make no fucking sense to me. And if you don't want it to be Ben Crump to be helpful, throw a name in the comments section of who you think would do a better job than Ben Crump, that you know that could get public attention for this woman, that is an actual attorney. Don't say Reverend Al Sharpton. Can't say Jesse Jackson anymore. Can't say John Lewis anymore. So who the hell do you suggest? Throw a name in the comments section. Ben Crump is out. Cool. Who do we support? Whose name do we throw into the hat? I'll gladly support him if it will help justice for Nolan Wells. Okay? Like, that's just simple and plain.
Nobody has a predetermined notion. I don't know what happened. But if you're saying that that Al Sharpton and that Benjamin Crump are on one side, you're certainly on the other. You talk to them for 2 days and now all of a sudden you know if they're guilty. You know if they're innocent. Right. You know that.
No.
Your name is, your moniker is Officer Tatum, not Detective Tatum. You didn't make your way to detective.
He was eating.
You're an influencer who says what white people want you to say. And don't you find it interesting that they chose to speak to you, and they chose to speak to you for the same reason that you're a conservative, for the same reason Turning Point did, because you're safe. They know you're a Black man who'll do what he's told. You're an unremarkable Black man who they know they can count on to be obedient. They pick you for the same reason they pick dogs.
T.L. Hughley, don't insult dogs like that. Dogs did nothing. Dogs did nothing to deserve being
I agree. Dogs did nothing to deserve
associated with Brandon Tatum, but touche. And I absolutely love what he said about the predetermined notions that he has in his head that he's pushing forward. Because let's keep in mind, what we're looking for is transparency. Transparency and clarity, which has not been granted since day one of this story going viral. And that's indicting, because if transparency could clear everybody's name, you would be running to show that evidence.
What is very interesting to me is this is Nancy Grace.
I left to believe that he goes out swimming all on his own, and the friend girl leaves, the mates from school leave, everybody just leaves him out in the water and he dies.
Now, Nancy Grace is a career prosecutor. She has tried 100 felony trials, 100, and not lost one. And she thinks that's something suspicious. But the social media influencer who failed at football and was a mediocre cop all of a sudden knows more than that. I don't know what happened. You don't know what happened. But I do know this. You said that a young woman with a pot of water acted so suspiciously that she should be shot by cops.
I think that this is justified, but it could have been avoided, but still justified. You can't throw boiling water on a police officer and not get shot.
Which, by the way, was proven not to be the
No, he didn't say that that lady that got pow-powed by that police officer in her own house while she was boiling water, that the cop was justified in deleting her and then calling her the B word after he deleted her. I mean, wow, man, this dude has he is lower than a snake.
The case, which was proven not to be the case. And I don't think we've heard Brandon Tatum fall back from any of his Sonia Massey takes. And he certainly didn't give the money back neither.
But you don't think people that want to vote with somebody in proximity to somebody and that person come that day acting so suspicious they should be questioned? That's who you are. Debate you for what? What you are is what the people before you, you're Diamond and Silk, you're Candace Owens, you're Stacey Dash, you're that. And your career will age like avocados because that's what they do. There'll be somebody else that replaces you. I've been around for 40 years doing what I do, and you still know my name. You know how I got to know yours? Somebody sent me a alert.
Hey, why y'all didn't? I signed up for that. I swear I don't be getting my notifications, man. DL, sign me up, man.
They said, and you fit the bill. I don't know who you are, but I know what you are. I know what you do because I've seen people like you in my entire life. You can assail my career, but my career is longer than your life. You mentioned my name and I have no idea who you are. But I do know this, that one day when all of this is done, and it'll be after the next election cycle, when people are wondering who you are, when you go the way of the Larry Elders or the Sheriff Clarks or the Candace Owens or the Diamond and Silks or the Stacey Dashes or the Armstrong, like all of them, when you're there with them and you're wondering what happened, it's because you sold your soul for nothing.
Let me just say this, and I know people gonna clip this and get back, and I don't care. I really feel this way. I'm getting sick of black people, right? I like the black people like me and others that are conservative, that's smart, but the rest of y'all, I'm sick of y'all. It's hard to even want to be around black people, to be honest.
I have never once, and I've had a disagreement with a lot of black people that I've had disagreement, but I've never once had to make a video explaining I don't hate black people.
I do not hate black people. I know that people who are new to my channel and you see people out there making these videos, it's comical to me because I don't understand how accountability leads to hate.
You said you can't teach me. You can't make me hate white people. You said that.
You want me to hate white people. I'm not doing it.
My question isn't making you hate white people. I don't want that at all. What I want to know is who the fuck taught you to hate us?
I believe it was Washington and Abraham Lincoln and Alexander Hamilton, Andrew Jackson.
Them coins, them dollar
I don't know who
bills.
won no other bills. I ain't seen nothing higher than a 20. Except on a computer. So I don't know who on no other bills. I believe that is the answer. I believe that is the answer. But here is the thing, though, that is so fascinating. The best way to maintain a grift is to keep it just below the surface so that it can go on and on and on. And you can grift outside of prying eyes, out of plain sight, maybe in plain sight, for years. That is how you sustain a grift.
Okay, so leaving it on this note and Thank you very much to Reese Waters for creating this funny video. I thought it was fascinating. I gave you a like. I'm linking your video in the description of this video to all of my subscribers and people who might watch this video on the replay. Please go and subscribe to Mr. Reese Waters. He is hilarious and I find him to be extremely funny. Also share this video with someone if you think that they will find it entertaining and interesting. I did like how he gave his commentary on the Brandon Tatum debacle, because he has gone very viral lately with his take on this young man's passing. And I find it very unfortunate that, you know, he's putting the parents through hell. I heard like on internet streets that the mom is like taking it like super hard. So like prayers out to Nolan Wells' family, despite all of the publicity people like shitty ass Brandon Tatum is getting. You know, I do hope that they get justice for that young man, because I know I would want it for my son. And I think that all of you rosebuds, if this was your son, you would want justice for him too. So like I said, it's not about, you know, the kids being black or white. The mom just wants to know what the hell happened to her son, just like we all wanted to know what the hell happened to Shanquella Robinson. And we still want to know what the hell happened to Shanquella. And all of her friends were black, you know? So it can happen to either one of our children or our grandchildren, our nieces or our nephews. Some wild ass shit like this can happen. So we should all be wanting to get down to the bottom of what happened to Nolan Wells. Okay. Shout out to you, Ree Pink. It's been a long time. I'm glad to see you. Hey, sister. Hey, it's good to see you. What's up, Square Biz? It's good to see you too. Thank you so much for the Cash App, or not the Cash App, but the Super Chat. I have something for Super Chat, Square Biz. Let me play this for you. I think it's funny. I hope you think it's funny too. So I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much, Square Biz, one of my A1s from day one. And Mr. Walker is in the building, or was in the building. Hey, Mr. Walker, it's good to see you. Mr. Walker has been a member for 11 months. I appreciate all of your support always, Mr. Walker. I miss you, brother. I hope all is well with you and the family. Yeah, so yes, it's good to see all of y'all. Thank you for anybody who has liked the video and sent a little donation to the channel. I appreciate y'all so much. So thank you for that. I wanted to check something before we move on to the next thing. Yeah, so I wanted to talk. So there was a video I wanted to play, but I'm not going to play the video because I went back to look for one of the other content creators that also covered this same video that I wanted to play. And now his video isn't there anymore. And shout out to Tabitha Scott for sending me a $10 Cash App. I did get a Cash App. Thank you, Tabitha Scott. I appreciate you so much. I think I saw her in the chat. Tabitha was definitely in the chat. Thank you, Tabitha, so much for blessing me with a Cash App today. I appreciate you. And thank you to the Genius CEO who just sent me a $5 Cash App. I appreciate you so much, CEO. And I appreciate you also, Tabitha. I have a drop for Cash Apps. Let me drop you my Cash App drop. Hold on one second. All right. This is for my Cash Apps, y'all. That's the little dance I want to do for y'all when I get a Cash App. I'm like, oh, snap, I got a Cash App. And shout out to CDT Beats for the music. I have a new song to use, but yeah, I got to work on what I want my intro and outro to look like. I need some help. So yeah, somebody's got to help me, but I got to figure out what I want first. So anyway, this content creator was Mr. Reese Waters. Thank you, Mr. Reese, for your amazing video.